Illawarra daycare centres are struggling to keep up with demand, with some waiting lists having up to 800 names on them. Some families are waiting up to 2 years just to be offered a spot in a centre.
Alexandra Blake knows all too well of the struggle to find daycare. She put her firstborn down on a list when she was just 6 months pregnant.
We popped his name down at 3 separate centres that was local to where we were living at the time, and I got my first call with a spot to be available when he was almost 2.
Her second child, Stevie, is just 10 weeks old. Alexandra knows by the time she's ready to go back to work, finding daycare for little Stevie won't be an easy task.
I'll be back at work in about 8 weeks' time, so I have to look at something as a private option when I do go back to work. I have a nanny that looks after her at her house.
These children are blissfully unaware just how valuable their place in a daycare centre is. Bulli Community Preschool has a waiting list of up to 754 kids. Big Fat Smile runs this preschool and owns about 30 others in the region. Every single one has a waiting list.
Here at Bulli, more than 700. Down the road at Corrimal, 868. Even our Wollongong City Preschool, a small term-only preschool, has 350 children on the waiting list.
The government announced a $200 million increase in funding for training and upskilling of early childhood carers. Bill Feld welcomes the funding but says it won't lead to extra facilities, just more educators.
Perhaps the Productivity Commission's work in recommending to the government reforms to assist the sector could focus on perhaps some incentives for commercial and not-for-profit operators to build more centres.
Waiting lists for Big Fat Smile daycare facilities have increased 20% in the last 12 months. Miley Hogan, WIN News.